Hi, I'm Danny, and I have a blue and gold macaw named Maverick, and he's just shy of 7 months old. So I got a blue and gold macaw because my brother's got about 3 of them, and I've honestly just fell in love with the blue. My favorite color is blue, so I ended up getting a blue and gold. So how I found BirdTricks is, honestly, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I bounce between a bunch of different topics. It could be car related, whatever. And I'm an animal lover, so came across BirdTricks, watched a few of their videos, took a few years break from watching some of you guys' videos, and then with getting out of the military, I kind of got back into birds and just started binge watching a lot of your guys' videos.
Do you have GPS on and running? No? Okay.
Can I grab that? I was thinking, yeah, because you didn't put one on the other bird. So.
Take 2.
So why did I choose BirdTricks for Freeflight? Honestly, watching all the videos, you guys seem very down to earth, easy to work with. Everyone had like very great things to say, and honestly, the most popular as far as Freeflight instructors. I've heard of a few, but just the overall consensus is everyone's going to BirdTricks, and I just wanted to give it a shot. And with our first initial consult, I knew that I wanted to work with you guys and Dave.
Got like no wind for him.
Maverick. Come on, Bubba.
Nice. Go ahead and increase the distance as you see fit.
Okay. Oh, he was ready in the air. Maverick! Come on, Bubba!
So right now he sees that little feather. There you go. Nice. It's a good, like, little bit of a fear response to come to you.
So the Marshall GPS has been an amazing system. I've been relying on it more just for the statistics. I'm not really focusing so much on the GPS part of like losing my bird. I felt pretty confident in my bird's skills, but the GPS is there as a fail-safe, especially if you're by yourself. But while here with BirdTricks, I felt super confident that I had help from others and didn't need that GPS. So with the Marshall GPS, we were able to see on day 1 that Maverick flew about 800 feet, just doing some quick A to B flights. He did a quick little loop.
Good job, Jinxie.
Maverick!
Come here.
Come here, Maverick!
It's looking for a landing spot.
All right, cool. So, perfect. Thank you guys for ducking. We don't want them to learn right off the bat that they can go to anybody. Eventually, it's up to your discretion, but from here, set yourself up properly with wind, and whatever distance you think is most likely to do it.
Maverick! Come on, Bubba! Come on!
Nice!
Woohoo!
And then when we went out to the dunes, he took a very big, the overall flight session, he did over 1.6 miles. So it was great to see that. And they also offer like a 3D effect where you can actually see it trace in elevation and descending and just everything in general and speed. So that's been awesome to see. So working with Dave was very, very easy to get along with. He doesn't just cutthroat with adjustments and stuff or tell you what you're doing wrong. He lays it down softly, and overall it's just a great experience.
Good.
Maverick! Maverick! Right here, Bubba!
Keep coming, keep
Come
coming!
on.
Yay!
Thanks, guys.
Aw, Jinxie.
Hey, buddy.
My favorite birds to watch other than mine is Rocket, Kona, and Moxie. With Kona, I really enjoyed watching how when they come in for a landing, he just elevates himself, holds his wings, and just flutters on down. So that's super cool to see. And with Rocket, I mean, his name fits him. He just buzzes around, whether it's indoors or outdoors. And I don't think there's ever been an issue with him not coming back. So he's a very dependable bird. So if you want to learn to free fly your bird, I think you really need to go to someone who actually knows how to free fly. So during this trip, I was able to go in a hot air balloon with Dave and other members of the program, and I got to do a tandem jump out of the balloon while Dave got to do his wingsuit. So, I mean, he's the closest thing to like a flying squirrel. And I just got to fall like a rock and then just have the chute pulled. But other than that, I mean, super rare experience, and I just had to do it. It was a lot of fun. Wasn't really nervous for me, but if anyone else is thinking about doing it, you just got to get over it and do it. Why do I think people need a mentor for free flight? Honestly, because when you're going through the training, you don't realize exactly what you're doing right or wrong. There's been a lot of small things that even watching the video back, I don't know too much about, like, oh, was I doing something wrong? And it can be as simple as if you're using like a clicker or something, you're clicking too early and you don't realize that you're marking that specific moment and you need to be marking at a different time. You're just not gonna know unless you have that experience from someone telling you what they know and what works. For me, the ultimate goal would be amazing to be able to free fly Maverick off of my property that we plan to build on. Overall 34 acres. Most of it will be owned by my mother-in-law. We own a 5-acre part. But as long as Maverick's skills are there and with risk mitigation, which I've learned a lot from Dave, it should work out fine. But for right now, it's getting Maverick out at least every weekend, and hopefully with some previous graduates that also live in Texas. My favorite moment of the trip probably was day 1 at the dunes, just because that was the first time we really just went up there and just started throwing Maverick off for some exploratory flights, and the wind was great. He was learning how to make the turns. He was flying with other birds, and that's where we got that 1.6 mile overall flight pattern. So he did really good that day, and he was tired the following day. My biggest difficulty with training Maverick throughout the entire program, before the trip and during the trip, has been that he's a hand-feeding baby, and we don't have the treats like nuts to really use as the main reinforcer. So I had to really challenge myself to think of the different ways to reward him throughout the program and to get those flights to me other than just using nuts. And it's helped me understand the many different ways of reinforcement. My advice to others who are interested in free flight would be is do your research into BirdTricks and really make sure that you are willing to put in the time and the effort for this. This isn't just a one and done type of thing. It takes a lot of work and determination and your time to work with these birds. I had to sacrifice some sleep because I go to work pretty early in the day, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's so rewarding to see a bird that is still technically wild that wants to come back and choose you as its person to land on and not just fly off. One of the qualifications during the program for the free flight is that there's one day that's dedicated to you to go off on your own with somebody just for observation of safety, where you plan out your flight plan. You pick the day, you make sure that the weather is correct, you look at the wind patterns, temperature, just all the weather things that could affect it. And then you also need to consider the location where you're flying and take in what could go right, what could go wrong, and how you would approach if your bird was to fly off. If it got out of sight, if it flew off a certain distance, how are you going to be able to get to that bird? And during that, I honestly didn't think it was too difficult for me. I was pretty confident, but our training went great. Maverick, we only had one spooked flight due to a wild bird, but he flew off and came right back to me just like we've trained, and just had a great time by ourselves. With that day dedicated to just us on our own, it really sets you up to be confident to go back home and fly on your own without having to contact BirdTricks with a million different questions on, like, you know, what do I do? You should be able to leave this program ready to be independent. So my experience with the BirdTricks community honestly has just been amazing. Before this program, I didn't have a whole lot of support necessarily from family. They honestly just view birds as just pets. And when you start explaining the more complex stuff of diet, exercise, limited time, like, you shouldn't just be loving on these birds constantly. It's going to hurt you in the end. So getting out here and flying Maverick for the first time, nobody was told to cheer for him. And once Maverick made that flight off the car to me, everybody started cheering, and it threw me off, but I was like happy. Like, it was to have that support.
Cool, it's all looking good.